Hey everyone, it's Johnny from Vertisia. I want to walk you through a common scenario that I think everyone who works in an office environment can relate to. That scenario is receiving a request that requires a ton of work digging through information, making sense of that information, and then putting together a final report or some form of analysis for your boss or for someone in leadership. This can be extra stressful when there is a tight deadline, and it can also disrupt timelines for other projects your team is currently working on. So the scenario usually looks something like this. You get an email asking for some form of report or analysis on a particular problem or area of the business. So this could involve a number of things. It could be modeling budget cuts, compliance issues, it could be evaluating technology investments. The specifics aren't important. What is important is that it adds a ton of extra work for you and your team, and it usually results in you needing to do the following 3 steps. So first is conducting research and gathering information from a ton of different sources all across the business. The second step is centralizing that information into some form of an outline for this report. And keep in mind, this information is often scattered in various meeting notes, highlighted PDFs or physical copies of reports, email threads, and any other number of documents or document types. And then last but not least is actually writing the report, okay? And this often revolves around multiple stakeholders giving feedback and multiple revisions needing to be done for this final report. Now, imagine if you had a colleague that never got tired and was happy to work on these types of tasks endlessly. And all you had to worry about was the final information that was in the report and presenting that information. So with Vertisia, you can do that by building AI agents. I want to show you an AI agent that is capable of handling exactly these types of tasks. And if you're wondering how long it would take to build this type of agent that I'm about to show you, it took me less than an hour to go from an idea to something that is production ready. Now let's walk through this scenario from start to finish. So first we get an email from the CTO. Our CTO wants to know what investments in technology make the most sense to prioritize given the issue we're having with declining customer satisfaction scores. Now, instead of the usual frantic last-minute rush to prepare everything for tomorrow's meeting, we'll use the AI agent I built in Vertisia to assist in helping us put this report together. So I'll simply give the question to this agent and I'll kick it off. Now, the first thing this agent will do is it's going to ensure that it understands the task and the request that I'm making. And if it doesn't, it will ask me questions to further clarify. The next thing it will do is it will think about all the relevant tools that it has access to and which ones make the most sense to use for this task. And then last but not least, it will create a plan for itself, which it will follow step by step. So it'll research across thousands of documents. It'll identify key information within the relevant documents, and then it will generate a draft for this final report that I can review and ensure it aligns with what I want to present to leadership. So this is the final output once this agent is finished with all its work. You'll see a summary of what it's providing along with a full audit trail of the work that it did. So this transparency is really, really important because any questions about the report or what the agent did can be found very, very quickly within this agent's audit trail. And you'll see you also have the ability to ask the agent questions about the work that it performed. So let's look at the final report that this agent created for us. So this report showcases this agent's ability to not simply generate text, but to understand, complex, multifaceted problems, reason through potential solutions, and connect data points across multiple documents and pieces of information. I want to highlight 3 parts in particular in this report that show just how useful and insightful these agents can be. So first, you'll notice that it associated a 5% decline in customer retention with the issues related to API downtime. And then it also used the company's current financial reports to estimate that this equated to about $6 million in lost revenue. Now, coming down a little further, you'll also notice that the agent was able to understand the impact that this API issue was creating across various parts of the organization. It addresses the impact for finance, for IT, marketing, and even for legal, and it gives details of how these areas are being impacted. And then one of the most amazing things that this agent did was modeling 3 different scenarios you'll see here at the bottom. So it's giving you cost breakdowns, implementation timelines, and expected ROI, and you'll see that it balanced immediate fixes against long-term investments. So instead of spending time digging through pages of information and countless emails to compile this report, you can focus on how you're going to present this information to leadership, what that discussion is going to look like, and the actionable steps that are necessary given the information in this report. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that while this specific demo showed a report being compiled that is relevant specifically to the IT department, our platform makes it incredibly fast and easy to transfer this type of agentic work to other areas of the business. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this demo and feel free to reach out at vertisiahq.com.